Happy Manic Monday, FreightWaves Now style. I'm Chad Prevost.
And I'm Emily Zink. We got a lot going on this morning. We have Donnie Gilbert talking about Little Rock, Arkansas, and Kevin Hill talking about IMO 2020. Who's ready? Who's not?
And Zach Strickland talking to carriers about their weekly market playbook. Zach, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. So I'm talking volumes today because that's the biggest concern for carriers right now. They need volume to keep their trucks moving along the road. The revenue will come, but the volumes are really what keep the costs down. And right now we're averaging roughly 2 to 3% lower in overall outbound volumes moving through the market, which is not terrible. In May, for instance, we were averaging roughly 7% less. This gap is going to be a tremendous problem to overcome for carriers moving forward. I think we're going to see that reflected in a lot of earnings calls.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you have the Monday blues right now or not, Zach, but let's look at the bright side here. We thought the sky was falling right here a few weeks ago, and now look how much it's caught back up.
It's catching back up, but it's still not catching all the way back up. You see back here in early May where we were right on par with last year. 2018 is in purple here. In green here, and then purple is in 2019. We were right in line with it. We thought it was going to be a pretty good.
But that was surprising to us because 2018 was a crazy year.
Yeah, well, 2 to 3% down is still going to feel rough on the carriers. And moving on to my next chart, we're going to talk about capacity and basic sentiment. So something that we see in the summer is tender rejection rates really climb. That's their time of year where you see a lot of capacity exit the market, or optionality increases, I should say.
Look at all that you've got pulled up here.
Yeah, these are all the outbound tender rejection indexes from a national perspective. We have van, flatbed, and reefer pulled up. You see this line down here, this blue line, the very flat line, is van tender rejections. That's the majority of the capacity moving across the country right now. This pink line, reefer, and green line's reefer, pink line is flatbed rejections.
Reefer is very hot right now.
Reefer's hot. Reefer's the hottest one right now. I think if you even go out on the road and you'll see a ton of reefer activity.
Donnie Gilbert is here today, and we're talking about outbound tender volume index for Little Rock. Donnie, what are you showing right here?
We've brought up tender volumes for Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, Little Rock is a smaller market located just west of Memphis. So what the big story on Little Rock is the reefer tender rejects. And right now, they're the #1 market with over 51% of the tenders being rejected for reefer carriers out of the Little Rock market.
Why are they? Why is that rejection rate like that?
Well, there is still a lot of reefer freight moving from the Arkansas markets, and for one, we've noticed that there's a lot of crawfish that moves out of that market, and also they're still in the poultry belt. So there is, chicken, turkeys moving from that market. But kind of one of the biggest things that's bringing that number up as well is 140 miles east of Little Rock is Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
And Memphis, Tennessee has 4 times the volumes and also has an increase in their reefer tender rejects as well. So we've got a lot of trucks that are running into the Arkansas market. They're probably delivering their loads and they're moving their trucks over to Memphis for more options. So basically when we look at the Arkansas markets right now, we see the high tender rejects. We're going to need probably shippers to pick their rates up to entice the carriers to stay in the Arkansas markets, Emily.
IMO 2020 is a term you've probably heard a lot here at FreightWaves over the past few weeks, and Kevin Hill joins me now. You guys actually took a survey and found some interesting things. What did you guys find?
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, we went out and surveyed the market. So that's freight brokers, shippers, carriers, freight forwarders, everyone that really has a vested interest in IMO 2020, and this is what we found. We found on how prepared they were that not too many people were really prepared for IMO 2020, right? So half the respondents, just under half, 48% here, say that they're monitoring the situation, which means in essence we're doing nothing. We're just maybe reading a news article from FreightWaves now and again. Another third of the market says we're not going to do anything. Flat out, we're not planning for it. We're going to accept the volatility of the prices. There's not much we can do. So we are just going to go on. So there are 4% and right here that are actually doing something about it. And if we drill deeper into the groups in the survey, we'll find who is and who is not.
Who's that 4%?
So the 4% isn't owner-operators, right? So we can tell that right here that they're either monitoring or they are just planning to do nothing. Their options are really limited. So there's not much they can do, but it's always good to be prepared no matter what. But from the larger fleets, shippers, freight brokers, and freight forwarders, we find that really none of them are doing much either. It's kind of split evenly, that 4%. So in any one group, less than 5% of that group is actually doing anything to prepare. So we have this question along with about 8 or 9 other questions that we survey market, and we're writing a report on that should be available in Sonar next week.
It's interesting to me the people who should be prepared for IMO 2020 really aren't prepared.
I guess that's a shocker, but we are going to be bringing to you what is happening each and every day, being prepared for you, talking about volumes and rates, and share the love on social media. We'd love to see you there as we come to you at 4 p.m. Eastern Time each and every day.